Hello everyone, welcome to my day 4 React.js tutorial. Today we are going to learn the most important concept in React.js, the Redux concept. Without Redux, you can say like you have not learned React.js fully. So Redux is an advanced concept in React.js. So let me tell you why we need Redux. Redux is needed for state management. So we can do the state management by the component way, like by using the method setState. We can define the state of a component in the constructor, and we can change that by using setState method that we have seen in up to day 3 video. But today concept we will learn state management using Redux. We don't have to do the traditional way of managing the state through the component. We will use Redux methods, Redux concept, Redux element to manage the state. So Redux consists of 3 elements. One is store, second one is reducer, third one is action. In the store, the state of the application, store is a centralized place where state of the application is being stored. So we will find all the state related to our application in the state. So whichever component will need that state, we have to inject that state in that component. We have to connect that component to the store so that component will fetch the state store in the store. So store is a centralized place where our application state reside or being stored. Then whatever the state present in the store is a readable. They are like they are not mutable, they are immutable. To change the state, we have to write the state again. Okay. So how we can change the state? We can change the state through a pure function, the reducer. The reducer is a pure function which is used to change the state in the store, which is used to store the state in the store. So don't be confused in the sentence. So by using the reducer, we are storing the state of the application within the store. If we want to manipulate that state, whatever we have stored, then we have to do through reducer. Okay. Then like how we can change a state from a component. So actually component triggers or emit an action. An action contains the type of the action and the payload of the action. This action is received by the reducer, and once the reducer receives the action, reducer will evaluate the action, and on the basis of that, reducer will change the state. To get the state from the component, we have to connect the component to the store. Usually we connect the higher order component, I mean the main component, to the store. And as the main component is connected to store, it will receive the state from the store and will pass the state to the child component, whichever connected to main. So practically, like this Redux is used due to the advantage of using the Redux is state is now more predictable, more maintainable. Okay. And what I believe is the main advantage of Redux in React.js is, let's suppose we have a complex application, we have a main component, and I need the state in a child component, and between that main and child we have around 6 to 7 components, 7 levels. Then what we have to do? We have to pass the props from main to each 5 level to reach to the child component that really needs that props. But the intermediate component won't need that. So still we are passing the probes from main to those intermediate component also. This is like unnecessary we are passing. So by using the redux concept, what it will happen, without passing the probes from main to the last child, we can directly connect the child component whichever need that state to the store, and the child component will get the state from the store directly. So the need of passing the props from main to the child all the way through the child component won't be needed. Okay, but usually we prefer to connect our main component to the store, so that like actually the concept of data flow should be like in a single direction from top to bottom. So if we connect every component to the store, then there will be multi-directional flow of data. Then like it will be difficult to debug or difficult to trace. So usually we connect main component to the store, and we'll receive the state from the store, and we'll pass the main component, the state that we have received in the main component all the way to the child component. If there will be a multi-level, if there are more levels of child component are there, then we can directly connect the child component to the store also, if it's a complex application. And let me tell you, like we can also develop React.js without using Redux, and we will do the traditional state management. That is fine, but Redux is like it's more feasible, like it makes the state management more easier than the traditional way, and it's also like we can easily debug our application on the basis of state. What will be the new state? What is now the new state? What will be the new state? All those kind of state tracing, state tracking we can do through the Redux by using the Redux dev tool. So it's all about the theory. Let's see in the practical. So first of all, to work with the Redux, you have to install these two commands. First one is npm install --save redux @3.7.2. Then second command is npm install --save react-redux @5.0.6. So these two commands you have to execute one by one. Copy this command, go to your node.js command prompt, paste it here. For that you have to stop your server. You know how to stop the server by pressing the Ctrl key. And just make sure while executing this command you should be in your project path. So I already installed these two commands, and it will take a couple of minutes to save our time. I already have installed. Once it gets installed successfully, you can verify that, as I have informed you earlier. We have to go to the, for verification purposes, we have to go to the package.json file. So it's a file that contains, that document the dependency or packages that we need in our application. If you see, we have React, sorry, this is not, we have the Redux of version 3.7.2 that we have installed here, right? Then we have React Redux of version 5.0.6 that we have installed here. Okay, so this should be your first step, correct? So let me close this. Then the next steps like will be like you have to install React Dev tool. It's a Chrome extension. You have to install it. So let me show you. React. So not this one, man. Sorry. React Dev tools. This one. Yeah. It's a Chrome extension. This is the correct link. Click on that. Okay. So here you can add it. I already had added. That's why I'm seeing the remove button. but if you have not added, you will see the add to Chrome button. You can click on that, that extension will get added. So it's a React developer tools. Okay, so let me close this. So once it get added, you will find like how we can see whether it is get installed or added or not. So you have to, so let me close again. What you have to do, just right click, go to the inspect element. You'll find the Redux here at the end. This is the Redux that we have installed. Click on that. You'll see this is a nice looking debugger tool where you can debug your application. Okay, let me resize it little bit. Yeah, so this is a nice looking dev tool where you can debug your application, where you can check the state of your application. Okay, so everything, the state, the reducer, the action is going to be cleared. Don't worry about that. So I will show you then what will be the next step after this installation. The next step will be, you have to go to your index.js file. This is the index.js file. You have to create a store. So for that we have to, so you can consider a store as a database, some kind of database. You can consider, visualize the store as a database in which we are storing the state of the application. It's a centralized place. Okay, so that every component will get access to the store, whoever it get connected to the store. Okay. So you have to import this. This is the line that you have to write. Import create store from Redux. Then this is the create store. We have to pass the reducer name. We will come to that reducer, and this is an extension that we have to pass to the store, so that our debugger tool will work. Okay, so this is the extension that we have to pass. To make our debugger tool, means this one to work, we have to pass the second argument. So first argument is a reducer. We'll come to that reducer later. Just a moment. So create store, we will create an store which we are storing in a variable. Then what we have to do, we have to also import the provider. You also need to import the provider, and provider is used to provide the state stored in the store to the component. This is the provider in which we are providing the store as a prop. Store equal to store. This store corresponds to this one. Okay. Then browser router, you know, for routing purposes. And this is a, instead of main component, in my day 3 video I have written main component here, but now we have written app component. What is this app component? Also we will come to that. Okay. So here we learn how to create a store and how to provide the store to the component using the provider. Okay, which is being available in the React Redux package. So the next thing is, we have to create the reducer. For creating the reducer, I have determined, I have created a folder named as Redux. Then you will find I have created a file, reducer.js file. Okay, this one. So I already explained, reducer is a pure function which is used to update. By using this reducer, we are writing the new state in the store. Okay, so it's a pure function. So it's a function, any name of your choice. It's like 2 parameters. So we'll come to the first, this reducer. We'll come to that above later. This is a post reducer. Okay, I mean whatever the images that you are seeing, this is an, means we can consider this an array of objects. If you have followed my day 3 up to day 3 videos, this is an, means we are displaying these images by iterating through the array of objects, and each object contains a image and as well as some description about the image and ID of the image. Okay, so now we will get that array of images from the store. Okay, instead of hard coding that. So we are in the reducer. It's a function, any name you can give. It's take two parameter, one state, another action. We can initialize the state. I am initializing to state to some default value. So this is the data that we have hard coded. So we don't, till now we don't have any database, so we are using the hard coded data. So this is an array of object. Okay, this is the array of object. We can just imagine this is the array of object that we fetch from the database. Once we fetch from the database, we need to store in the store so that other component will access this. Okay, so it's a constant, so we have to export that also, so that it will be reusable wherever it's needed. Okay, so in the reducer, this is the post that we have to import post, any name you can give, but the file name should point to the post.js file. Okay, then state equal to post. Now the state is get initialized with that array of objects. Then we have an action. Okay, so reducer, by this reducer we will manipulate our state. So in the reducer we usually have a switch statement with an argument action.type. I told you like action has two arguments. One is type, another is the payload. So this is the action.type. We will come to the action also later, just a moment. So its switch statement is a normal JavaScript. So if that action.type matches this remove underscore post, then this will be executed. If it matches this one, so this will be executed, and if it does not matches any of these, then default will be executed. So what we are doing here, when let's suppose if nothing is matched, then default is executed. We are returning the state, mean the state of post, that array of object. Okay, and if remove post means, as the name suggests, we are removing the post from that array, the post whichever the user has clicked, means the on click of remove button. So this is the logic that we have written for removing. So we'll come to that also, don't worry. Then for add post, we need to add a post to the array, so we are adding the post, so by using the spread operator. These are all ES6 concepts. Okay, so be aware of the ES6 before start coding React.js. So this is the how we can create a reducer. So this function we can consider as a reducer, in which we are manipulating the state. We have to return the manipulated state, the new state. Okay, on the basis of action type. Same thing, we have another reducer also for the comment section. This comment section is newly created, like I have enhanced my application. Let me show you from the UI's perspective. Okay, if you see, this is my screen, this is my page where you will find the comment, the number of comment. Currently the number of comment is 0. Let's say I want to comment on this image. So for that, what we have to do, we have to navigate to a comment page. So we are navigating through the comment page by on click of this image. Okay, now we are in the comment page. If you see, we have a text field comment, in which we will provide comment to the image. Okay, so if you see, currently there is 0 comment. Once we provide, the comment will get increased. So let me, vacation is welcomed, then press enter. Whatever the comment that we provide, that will be reflected at the top, and if you scroll down, you will find there is one comment added. Then we can also type another comment on vacation, anything that you have written, then press enter. Then second comment is also get added, and if you scroll down, you will find the comment count to be 2. If you go to our previous page, you will see for this image we have 2 comments, and on click of comment we are navigating back to the comment page. So this is the means in the store we have 2 states. One state is for this array of images, another state is for the comment for each image. Okay, so actually in reducer should be equal to the number of state that you have to store in your store. That means reducer is equal to number of state reside in the store. Okay, so let me refresh, get back to our original page where we don't have any comment. Okay, so then what we have, then comment, then for the post state we have a post reducer, for comment state we have a comment reducer, in which we have a state, means reducer always take two parameter, one state, second one is action. So but here we have provided the array of object that we have hard coded in post.js file. Okay, but for here the state is not an array, is an empty object. Okay, then we have same switch statement. If the action.type matches this one, then this will be executed. If else return, we'll come to that. If it does not match anything, it will return the default state. Okay, so let me summarize again what we have to do. So before that also we can go to the action also, action.js file. We have articulated a lot on action. Let's see what is the action. So this is the action. It's also a function, then any name of your choice. If you want to provide any parameter to the action, as in the payload, that also we can do here. Then always this function return an object which should have a type, some type, hard-coded type, along with the payload. This is called the payload. Actually this object is called the action, and the above function is called the action creator, the function that create an action. Similarly, this is the action for remove post, this is the action for add post, this is the action for add comment. Okay, so in the state, so in the store we have two state, one is comment state, another is post state, so that we have two reducers, and we have three actions. The remove post and add post will manipulate the post state, and add comment action will manipulate the comment state. Okay, then what next? We'll discuss this action again, so just I'm giving an overview. Then we have to, so whatever the state that we have stored in the, that reside in the store, that need to be provided to the main component, so that it get access to all the states stored in the store, and it will pass it to the rest of the component. So we have to connect this main component to the store. For that, for connection purposes, we have a container app.js file, in which what we have done, we have written a function, any name of your choice. It takes an argument state, then we are returning the state. So this is the post state, which is being retrieved from state.post. This post corresponding to this reducer name post. Then we have another state, comments. So this post state is an array of objects, comments is an object, and we are storing the comment state by using state.comments. So this corresponding to the reducer name. Okay, so here we can visualize, we have in our application we have two state, one is post state, one is comment state. Post is an array of object, comments is a object in which it will store, means comment is an object. So if you go to the reducer, you will see comment is an object, because we are providing an empty object for the state. Then if you see any manipulation, you will see here we are manipulating the state. So comment, so we have added, so comment is a state having an ID, in which one of the property is ID and the value is comment. This is the property post ID, and this is the comment, which is an array. So comment is a state which is an object. That object having a property of post ID, means the image ID, means in comment you will find this ID 0, 1, 2, and the value for those ID will be an array of comment, so that it will track for this image these are the comment, for image of ID 2 these are the comments. Okay, then so we have created this function. Then what we have to do, we have to attach this state to the main element. We have to connect it. For that we have to import connect from React Redux. Connect, then this we have to provide the function map state to prop. Second function will come to that. Then we have to connect to the main element, main component. That's why we have to write main here. So we have to import main also from the file. Then now this app is, now we can consider it's a main component connected to the store. So this is a main component connected to the store. So we can access the props in the main component by using this. So we have to export that so that it will be used. And this is the main component that is connected to the store. Okay. And I have told you, like we have action, component need to emit this action so that reducer will catch it, and reducer will evaluate this action and change the state based on the action type. So for emit the action from the component, we have a method dispatch method. For that what we have to do, we have similar in the container, write function equal to something, any name, it takes a parameter dispatch. Then here we have to write, we have to return bind action creator. We have to import bind action creator from Redux. We are binding the action. So this is the, we are binding the action. So we have to import star as action from actions. So in it will go to this action.js file, whatever the exported action are there. So there are 3 actions. Now that will get populated here. Now this action variable contains these 3 actions. Then we have to bind that action creator. So it takes one action, means the actions and the dispatch method. So now the dispatch method is get attached to the actions. Same function we have to connect with the main also. Okay, so this is the function that provides the state. This is the function that is used for dispatching the action, and we are connecting to the state. We are connecting to the main component, the component that needs this state and need those actions, so that it will dispatch those actions, it will emit that action. Okay, so as I told, app is now the main component connected to the store. That's why in index.js file we have used app selector instead of a main. Earlier it was main. Now we have an app component which is being connected to the store. There will be no need of main, because we need a component that should be connected to the store. App is the new main component connected to the store. Okay, so that's why we have to mention app here. And if you go to the reducer.js file, so we have 2 reducer, comment for comment state, for manipulating the comment state. Comment state is an object in which the properties are the ID of the image and the values are comments, which is a comment array corresponding to that ID. Then post is an array of object, means array of images. Then we have 2 posts. So we have 2 reducer. We have to combine that 2 reducer into a 1 reducer. For that we have to import combine reducer from Redux. Then we have to write combine reducer. Then it takes an object. We have to provide the reducer that we want to combine. So these 2 reducer combined into a single reducer, root reducer. We have to export that root reducer. Always we'll provide this root reducer to the store that we have created. We won't provide the individual reducer. We will have to provide the combined reducer to the store. So this combined reducer will write the state to the store. If you see in the reducer, for the post state we have a hard-coded array of posts. So when our page load in the store, you will find an array of posts. Then for the comment state, we have an empty object. So when our page load, you will find the comment state will be an empty object. So whatever value that we have provided here, that will be like initialized for that state when the page load. So we'll see that state, how it looks, okay, in the using the dev tools. Here we'll go. So let me expand a little bit. Okay, so let me refresh my page. On refresh of the page, this is the action, this is the initialization of state, the action that is being called by default by the application for initializing the store. And the initialization values we are providing in the reducer in the function argument. Okay, for comment it is empty object, for post it is an array of object. We'll see that. So this is the debugger tool. So here you will find some buttons, action button, state button. Now we'll concentrate on the state button. We'll go to the state button. So you'll see the state in tree structure, then chart structure. So usually we prefer the raw structure, which is more readable. Okay, so here is the state. So on page load, as I told, this is a state. State is an object you can consider, in which, this is a store which we can consider it's an object or database, in which we have a post state, which is an array of objects. So this state, this is a state which is named on the basis of the reducer. Okay, whatever the name we will provide here, same name will be reflected there. If we write post reducer, there also it will reflect the post reducer. So this is a post state which is an array of object, the hard-coded object that we have provided. Then the comment state, which is an empty object, because for the comment reducer on page load we have provided the empty object. Okay, so now we have the state in the store. We have to manipulate the state. Like if you want to remove the post, we have to remove it from this array, from the post state array. If you want to add, we have to add that to the post state array. Okay, so this is the best debugger tool we can consider. So this is how our state looks when our page load. Okay, then what next? We'll see this. Like, to get access to the store, we connected the main component to the store by using this container and this connect method. Then how we'll get those state? For getting those state, what we have to do, as it is connected, so we have connected the store to the main component using these two parameters. These are the two props. We can get the state by using these two props. One post contains the post state and comment props contain the comment state. We'll go to the main.js file. We'll see. So in the render method, if you see, I have console log this.props. Okay, what does that props contains? We'll see. We'll go to the console log. Okay, so let me scroll to the top. So this is the store post that I am logging into the console. Okay, store post. If we expand it, right, you will find post state, which is an array of object. Okay, it is array of object. Then we will find a comment state, which is initially empty object. Then we will find the action that we have created. The action means this one. three actions: remove post, add post for manipulating the post state, and the add comment for manipulating the comment state. Okay, we'll find it: add comment, add post action, then remove post action. These are the action also you will get here. Even the history object also you will get in that props. Okay, so we are connecting the main to the store by using this container, and we are also connecting the actions to the main also by using this container. That's why in the props, in the main component, we are getting the action as well as the states. Okay, once we get the state from the store, we will pass to the children component. So it's a photo wall component. If you have followed my last 3 video, you will understand what we have written in photo wall. So here we are sending the props that we have received by using this triple dot structure for destructuring. This is a spread operator. Okay, so this is how we can provide the props to the photo wall component. Then we'll go to the photo wall component. Okay, let me close this one. In the photo wall component, where it is, in the photo wall component, what we are doing, we are providing this as a props. Then we are retrieving props dot post. This is the state now which is being retrieved from the store, because the props that we have sent, it contains the post property. So we are accessing that by using props dot post, which is an array. First of all, we are sorting it, then we are mapping with everything you know up to this, and we are, for each array iteration, we are creating a photo component. In photo component, we are passing post, means the image, each image, and along with the props, the entire props, because in photo we need to call this add post and remove post action. We have to dispatch. That's why we have to provide the entire props. Okay, up to this you know. Only extra thing is, like, we have to provide the same props that we have received from the main component from the store. Then we'll go to the photo component. In photo component, we are displaying the images. So here I have created, so like whatever the props we have provided, we'll retrieve that props by using props dot post. This will retrieve the post props that we have provided here, each image. Then I have put the image in a link tag, so that on click of image we will be navigated to the comment section. For here we can take, like here, if you notice, here we are doing parameterized routing. Okay, so we will come to that in a bit. Okay, then what is like main important is on click of remove button. On click of remove button, so what you are seeing in the here, the remove button. On click of remove button, we have to dispatch the action. So we have passed the props. This is the entire prop that we have received from the store, and in that props, as I have told, that contains add post and remove post actions. Now on click of remove button, we have to dispatch remove post action, and this remove post action, if you go to the action.js file, this is the remove post, and it takes one argument, index of the image that user wants to remove. Okay, so here we are passing the index of that image, and this props index we are passing from the photo wall, if you see this one. Okay, so we are dispatching the action with an index of the image. Once it is removed, we will navigate to our, like, we will refresh our page. You can see we are refreshing our page by using props.history.push. Okay, we are again, like once it is get removed, we are refreshing our page, so that our page new post will be, that post whatever we have clicked, that will be removed. Probe.history.post. So probes also has access to the history property. So we are calling probe.history.post, then it's an empty part. Okay. Then also we have another link button for the message count. If you see, just beside the remove button we have message count button. On click of message count, we are navigating to the comment page where we can comment on the image. So therefore we have to configure the same parameterized part. Okay. So we'll come to this later. We'll go to the action. So on click of remove button, we are dispatching this action, this remove post, with the index of the post, index of the image that user wants to remove. So this action is dispatched with an index. So it is having a type of remove post and a payload of index of the image. So once the action is dispatched, it is received by the reducer. And just remember, all the action is goes through all the reducer. That remove action means the remove action or remove post, action of type remove post, will go through this reducer as well as this reducer. And thanks to the switch statement, so on the basis of switch statement, if it matches, then only it will change that state. So first of all, we'll go to the comment reducer. Here we have switch statement action.type. For this remove post, we have a type of remove post. The type is remove post. So here this case is only add comment, so it does not match, and it will go to the default and it will return the state. Now the current state is, means it will return the current state. The current state is an empty object. It will return the empty object. Then it goes through this reducer. Then it comes to the switch statement. Okay. In which it will go through this one. So here it is find action type is remove post. It matches. That's why what it will do, it will remove the post from that array of object. So this state is an array of object because we are providing post here. So we are doing dot slice. It's a JavaScript concept. So we are removing the items from 0 index to the index of the post, whatever the user has clicked. Then so it will remove element from 0 index up to action.index -1. So slice concept is like that. Then after removing that element, we have to also add the rest of the element from that index to last. So we are slicing action.index +1 to the last element. So everything gets retrieved, and that the post the user has clicked on, that gets removed. Now this is a new array which does not contain the post that user has clicked on to remove, and we are returning it. So our state get updated. So in this way, like on the basis of action type, and if you see here we have written action.index. It's a payload of the action we are retrieving, action.index. Okay. On the basis of action type and action payload, we'll manipulate the state and we'll rewrite our state. Now our state will contain, earlier we have 3 posts. On click of remove button, you will find only 2 posts. Okay, we'll see. If you see here, we'll go to the dev tool again. For the first state, we have 3 entry. If you see, 1 entry, second entry, then third entry. Now if I will click on the remove button, you will find only 2 entry. So here also I will clear the console log also. Let me click on the remove button. See, on click of remove button, that image gets removed. So we are having only 2 images. Okay, we'll see the console log. If you see, on click of remove button, it first goes to the post reducer, then it goes to the comment reducer. I told you, right, it will go through all the reducer. And why it is going through the first reducer? Because In the combined reducer, we have mentioned the post as first. That's why it is going through the post reducer first. Even though it matches with the switch statement, it will go through the comment reducer also. These are the console statement that we have put here. The console.log within post reducer within the comment reducer, that we are printing within the post reducer within the comment reducer. Okay. Now we'll go to our dev tool. If I see, this is the action that is being triggered, remove post, because it's the type of the action. For remove post action, the type is remove post. Whatever the type you have provided, that we will see in the dev tool for debugging purposes. Click on that. You will see the state related to that action. Now the updated state is, if you see, for the post array, now it contains only, so my system get hanged somehow. Okay. Now if you see, the post array contains only 2 records because one is removed. By this way we can debug also what is the new state. Now we can visualize the state. The state is now more predictable and more maintainable by using this redux and redux step tool. We'll go to the action statement. We'll find this is the action of type remove post and payload is 0. We'll find the payload here, whatever we passed in that function, this index. Okay, index value we'll find here. 0th index image is clicked. If you go to the difference tag, you will find the difference, means what this action has done. This action has removed this post from the post array. That's why it is deleted. Okay, these are overlined because these are deleted. So in different section we will see what the action has done to the state. In the state we will find the updated state after the action is executed. In the action tab we will find the information about the action. Okay. So if you will click on another remove button, you will get another remove post action being triggered. We will click on that. You will see now the state is only having 1 items, only 1 image. Even from the UI side also you will see we have only a 1 large image. That's it. Okay. So here we can see the state. If you go to the action, now the index will be something different. Index is 0th index is, because we have removed the first image, so now we click on the second image, so always that comes with the 0th index of the array. Okay. So if you clear that, that will be clear, means that will be more. So now I will click, I don't click on 0 index, let's click on the array index of, it is the 0 index, it is the first index. Click on this, then our remove post is triggered. We'll go to the action, you will find the index is 1. Okay. So in this way we can track the action, what is the current state, what is the action information, what is the difference, what the action has done to our state. All this information we can debug here. Okay. Clear, guys? This is how we can achieve. Okay. So what next we have? That's it. Then let me refresh again. Once we refresh, our store gets restored. Okay, we'll get all the record in this state, all the 4 records, all the 3 records. Okay. Then we have a add post page also. On click of this, we are going to the add post screen. Here we can add a new post. You'll see once this post button is clicked, then another action, add post action, will be called, and we will get, currently see we have 3 records, 3 images. We will find another image get added here. Okay, so let me put some link. So I already have put in some link, some description added. Okay, so let me click on this post button. Then just see at the left hand side of dev tool, click on the post button. See, our images get added, the new images with a description of added get added. Okay, so you are able to visualize, right? This is the image that is being added. Then this is the action that is being triggered. We'll click on this action. If you see, we can see the updated state. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 record. This is the extra record that is being added. On click of post, we'll go to the action. We'll see the action of type add post is called, which text and payload of which is a post object, the description that we have added, and the image link that we have provided, and ID is auto generator as for the current date. Okay, so this is the action type and payload of the action. We'll go to that through the code. So this is the add post, which takes the post object which we have to provide as a payload. So here the payload and key name is same, so that's why we can give like this, or we can write this way also, post colon post. So usually this is the ES6 way. If the property and value name is same, then you can provide this, so it will be used as a value and property. For index also, like we can provide in this way also. Okay, instead of providing index dot index colon index. So this is the add post, which takes an argument of an object, the new post that user has added. That argument, that payload has a ID, description, and image link. Okay, so this is the action. So we need to dispatch this action from the component, so the reducer will take care of this. So for dispatching we are dispatching the action from where? We are dispatching this action from this page, add post page. On click of post button, we'll go to that component, add photo.js file. We'll open that. Okay, in add photo.js file, and we are accessing this add photo.js file. Let me save that I changed. Okay, so we are accessing this add photo by using the router in the main.js file. If you have seen my day 3 video, so here when the route path is add photo, we have to render the add photo component, and in which we are passing the props that we received from the store, same prop, and we'll go to the add photo. Here add photo, it contains a form having 2 input fields, link and description. On click of button, on submit event is called, then it's calling this function. In this function we are retrieving the fonts value, then we are creating the post object that we need to pass as a payload to the action. Then if image link and description are filled, if user has provided both the values, if they are not undefined, then we are dispatching the action. For dispatching this .props.add post, this is the action. Okay, add post is the action name, and this takes the post object as an argument. Okay, so this takes the post object. Then once you get added, we have to navigate to our main page. Then we have to use same history.push empty array, this slash. Okay, so this will dispatch the action. Once the action is dispatched, the same story repeat. It will receive by the reducer. It will go through all the reducer. First of all, it will go to the post reducer. Then it will go through the, why it is go to the post reducer first? Because in combined reducer we have mentioned the post reducer first. Post reducer, then in the switch statement, it is retrieving action.type. Then it is matching with the case statement. Remove post, it does not match because the type of the action is add_post. So it matches with this case statement. Here we are returning the manipulated state using spread operator. First of all, we are retrieving the whatever being stored in the state, all the array element. Then we are adding another element, another object, action.post. Why action.post? It is because for this action the payload is post, and we have to retrieve that by using the action.post. Okay. So in this way the new object get added to the that post array and we are getting the new image, correct? Then we'll, so one thing, the important thing that I want to highlight here is, not here, where it is, here, index.js page. I guess where we have missed it somewhere. Just a minute, guys. Where I missed, man? App.js. Yeah, here. See, the React.js and the router, both the concept work we have to use with router. We are connecting the store to the main component, and in the main component we have written the router concept, this route and route configuration path and the render function. So that's why with the Redux the router usually won't work, so that's why we have to use with router. We have to import with router from React router. That thing I forgot. And everything like within this will provide the connect statement and the main statement. These are all within the with router. Okay, so we'll go to the, this one is done, right? Let me refresh again. We'll go to the comment section. So how we can provide some comment to our image. On click of this image, we are navigating to the comment page, where you will find the comment button, like it will show the number of comments for that image. And if you see here, we are doing parameterized routing, that we will see here. If you see the URL, it's the path along with the ID of the image. Let me go back. If I'll click on this, we'll find the ID as 1. If we click on this, we'll find the ID as 2. And if we click on this last image, you'll find ID as 0. Okay, so if you see, we are passing the ID of the image, and what we are doing, we are retrieving this ID and we are iterating through the array of posts. Whichever the post matches with the post ID matches with this ID, this URL ID, that images we are showing here. So how we have configured the parameterized routing here, we'll see. First of all, we'll see how on click of image we are navigating to the comment section. So this present in photo component. We'll go to the photo component. In photo component, as I explained, we have a link tab, then a two props, in which we are providing single, then slash, then that ID of the post. Okay, in this way we are providing post.id. It will get appended with the URL. Then within that we have image. So on click of image, it is triggering, it is activating this path in which we are passing the ID of the image that we have clicked. Okay, so, and same for the message button also. If you click on the message button, right, it also navigating to the comment page with the ID in the URL. So same we have written link button, then we have on click of link we are navigating to the single slash post.id. Clear? And here we have written some CSS class bubble for displaying. Where it gone, man? Let me close this. For displaying this icon, this message icon. Okay, these are some of the CSS that I have added. So I will show that CSS also for you. You'll see. So we'll go to that CSS file. Let me copy this class. So it's not a CSS class. So still I will show you the CSS. This is this speech bubble in which we have added background images, and these are the some of the CSS. Then for the count also, means the div that surrounded this URL as well as the count. For that div I have given a CSS class comment count. These are the CSS for the comment count for look and feel, better look and feel. Okay. So in this, what we are displaying, we are doing props dot comment. So props dot comment, it will retrieve the comment state from the store. Then comment is an object, as I told. Comment is an object in the store, in which in that object the property is the ID of the image for which we have entered the comment, and the value is array of comments for that ID. Okay, here we are retrieving the length of that comment. So post.comment is an object and it's having property ID, the ID of the image. So we have given the property by post.id. If it will give the array of comment, if that array is not undefined, it's having some value, then we are retrieving dot length of that array. Otherwise we are providing the zero array, means zero comment. Okay, so that's why we are getting 0 initially on page load, because we have not provided any comments for this image till now. Okay, so this is how we use the link tag for routing, and this routing we have configured in main.js file. So this is the route path single. This is the placeholder for the ID that you are seeing here, 234 in the URL, right? That is the placeholder. Then when this route is activated, we have to render the single component, in which we are providing the props that we have received from the store along with the params. So as a parameter routing, it has a param argument in the render function. Param argument contains this ID, which is used for retrieving this ID in the URL, right? So we'll go to the single component. Okay, so we'll close this one, style sheet, add photo also not needed. We'll go to the single component. So let's go to the single component, single.js file. In single component, what we are doing in the render method, we are retrieving the ID from the URL. So the syntax is this dot props dot match dot params dot ID. Why ID? Because this is the placeholder. If it is XYZ, there it will be also XYZ, and we are providing the params as a prop. That's why we are retrieving as this dot props dot match dot param dot ID. Okay, so this ID we have to convert that in the URL. We are providing the ID in the form of a string, because if you see in the path we have appended the string. So as ID is a number, so you have to convert the string to the number by using this number. Okay, then we are retrieving the post state from the store. The post state we are passing to the single from the photo in the single component. Sorry, this props we are providing to the single component from the main. So this one, this is the props that we have received from the store in the main, and from the props we are retrieving the post, which is an array of object. Then we are finding the ID of the post, whichever the user has clicked in. So we are doing this find operator, means we are not finding the ID, we are finding the post, the images for which we want to give the comment, whichever the user has clicked on, the image on which the user has clicked on for giving some comment. So this is the find operator. It's an JavaScript concept. We are retrieving to the we are iterating through the post. If its URL ID matches with any post ID, that post object will be assigned to here. Okay, then also we are retrieving the comment also from the state, this dot props dot comment. Comment in the object having a property of ID of the image. For that image, whichever the user has clicked on, for that image we are providing that corresponding ID. the ID that we have retrieved from the URL. And here a logical operator, if this is an empty array, if we have not provided any comment yet for that image, then it will be undefined. If it is undefined, we have to provide an empty array. Then we are finding the index of the image for which we want to give the comment. For this, again we have to iterate through the array of posts that we received from the store. Then we have a find index method. It will iterate through all the posts. If any ID matches with that, the find index will give that ID of that object. Here it contains the index. So find index will be the index of that object, that post object. So here it will store the index. Okay. Then as a render method, we have to return statement. We have a div tag in which we are returning the photo component. If you see, this is the photo. So we have two sections, one photo section, one is the comment section. For the photo section we have to use the photo component, and for the comment section we have to use the comment component. And this is the CSS property that we have provided some flex property to this single photo. We will see that also, the CSS. This is the single photo. Okay, so we have provided some flex basis to that. Okay, these are some of the CSS that we have provided. We provided display. We have provided the display flex to the single photo, so that the single photo will be a flex item, and the photo and comments will be displayed side by side. Okay, clear, right? So let me remove this. Then in the photo component we have to pass the post and the prop that we needed. The main thing is comment component. In comment component we are passing add comment props, because in the comment component, once we enter some comment, and if you click on the save button, if you click on the enter button, then we have to add that comment to the store. That's why we need a add comment action that we have to provide through the props. Then we are providing the comment also. The comments state that we have received an ID of the image. Why are providing comments also? Because once the user has provided the comment, that need to be reflected here. That's why. The main thing is the comment component for us. In the comment component, what we have is, in the comment component we have a form. Okay, form having an input of type text having name comment. This is the input field where user will give the comment. Then we have a submit button which is hidden, so we are not able to see the submit button because it is hidden. I hide it because once we give the comment, on press of enter, it will call the onSubmit method, and this will trigger this function. And in this function, what we are doing, we are retrieving the user entered value for the comment. Then we are calling the add comment action. We'll go to the add comment action. In add comment action, it takes two parameters. One is the comment that user has entered, then ID of the post for which the user has entered the comment. That also needed, because we have to match that. We have to enter the comment for that image, not for the other image. So here in the add comment, we are providing the comment that we have retrieved using this from the form. Then we are providing the ID, props.id. This props.id we are providing in the single component. If you see, this is the ID, this is the props that we are providing. Okay, then what? Then this action is triggered. This action having a type of add comment having two payload, one is comment and another is post ID. This will go to the reducer, some story repeat. Then first of all it will go to this post reducer, it won't match anything, any type, so then it will go to the comment reducer. Now the type is add comment because the action type is also add comment, it matches with that case statement in the reducer. Then we are doing some if else statement for manipulating the state, we will go to that also. So here the state is an object, so state, then this object has a property of image ID or post ID and value is a comment array. So here for accessing the property for an object we have to provide the property action.postId. Action.postId is the ID of the post that we are passing through the payload of the action. Action.postId, it is saying this will return an comment array if it is saying that array is undefined, not operator. If it is undefined, then what we have to do, we have to add that comment for that image. So we are using the spread operator, then state, it is destructuring the object, then we are adding action.postId, a new property for that object, colon, value is action.comment. So it's an array, but it is not an array, it's the property, but although we are putting in a square bracket, but it's not an array, comment is an array. And let's suppose this is not undefined, we have some comment for this post ID. So what we have to do, again destructuring, then action.postId, we are accessing that property in that object, okay, then colon, then it's an array, it will give the array of comment, so we are destructuring array also by using state action.postId, it will give the array of comment, we are destructuring it, then we are passing the new element, new comment for that array, action.comment. This comment we are retrieving from action.js file, right? After this clear, right? So if the array is empty, we are adding a single comment. If the array is already being present, already have some comment, then we are adding a new comment to that array, we are pushing the new comment to the array, okay. Then we will go to the comment section. In the render method, if you see, I have a div element. So within the div element, what we are doing, we have a JavaScript expression, we are retrieving props.comment, okay. This comment means here we will go, this is the comment which is an object, in the store, okay. So just a minute, did I miss something? Okay, we'll see here, we'll go to the console log, okay. This .props.comment, so here we are providing single two comments, this is the comment, okay. So we are providing the comment array, not the comment object. We are retrieving the comment from the store, which is an object. On the basis of that object having a property, the photo ID, and the value is the comment array, then we are providing the ID of that image. It will give an array of comment. This array of comment we are passing through the props. So in here we are retrieving this by using this prop.comment. It's an array of comment. We are mapping through this an array, we are iterating through an array, and we are creating a p element in which we are displaying the comment. This comment is being displayed, just above the form element. That's it. Okay, so here we'll go. So let me refresh the page again. So we'll go to the Redux. So let me refresh again also. You will find one more thing. So in the console, if we see, comment state is an empty array. This comment state we have written in comment.js file line number 18. Comment.js file line number 18. This is initially this is an empty array because initially for the comment we are providing the empty object. So it is having no property, no value. So empty object, empty array. So that's what we have written in single.js. If it is an empty or the array is undefined, we are providing an empty array, right? Same thing that is reflected here. Now I will go to the store also, go to the Redux. This is the initialization of store. We'll go to the state raw. So if we find initially the main thing is we will now see on the comment state. Initially the comment state is an empty object. Now we'll provide some. So for this image the ID is 2. Okay, we'll provide some comment to this image. Comment is, so let's teach a vacation. So vacation is welcomed. Then on press, put something, then press enter. Then we can write vacation is enjoyed. Okay, something like that. Any comment, then press enter. Whatever we'll put the comment, that will be reflected at the top of the form element, because we are iterating through the comment and we are creating a p element above the form element in comment component. That's why we are seeing. Okay, then also you will see here in the photo component you will find the number of comment count. We have provided 2 comment, that's why we are getting 2 count. If you go to the photo component, you will find here is the link in which we are finding the length of the comment. If it is undefined, it will show the 0 length. On the page where it is undefined, so it will show the 0 length, right? So let's go to our previous page, previous screen. Now I will add some. So for vacation we have 2 comments. For the alien image, let's add some comment. Click on this button. We'll go to the comment section. Okay. So see, there are 2 comment actions are triggered for the vacation image. So this is the first comment. So if you see the comment state, we have vacation is welcomed. So comment is an object in which the property is the ID of the image. And the second we will find, for the same image we have provided second comment. So ID is 2 and property is an comment. There are 2 comments for the photo having ID as 2. Okay. Then for this image which is having an ID of 1, let's have an entry for that. Let's add some comment for this. Aliens are good. Let's enter. I have provided 1 comment. So if you see here, the count is 1, and you will find the action here. Add comment action is being triggered. If you go to the, you will see a new state for the comment. So here aliens, the ID of that image is 1. For 1 there is only 1 comment. Okay, likewise we can debug our. If you go to the action, you will find the something related to the action. The comment is this, post ID is 1, because for the add comment we have 2 payload, 1 comment and the post ID. Okay, if you go to the difference, you will find here we are adding something. That's why it is saying in the comment state we have added, for the ID 1 we have added 1 array. Okay, so you will find the differences. Yes. Okay, so let's go to the second tab. Right guys, so after this everything is clear. In this way we can dispatch an action, we can debug using the debugger tool, using the Redux. It's a nice way of managing the state. State is more predictable, more visualized, more maintainable. And the traditional way of manipulating the state using the set state method is not at all that much predictable or that much recommendable. So if you have a complex application, go for the Redux. Okay, it has a lot of advantages. So I have covered all the concepts related to the Redux. So thank you everyone for watching. Please go through this and please practice with me. Thank you guys for watching. Be tuned. We'll meet again with some new video on Redux. Thank you guys. Bye.